Hello, welcome to day 3 of our Petite Stitchery Co. Colby Bralette. Today we're just going to get right into it. We're going to start sewing our bralette up. Today we're going to sew together the main and the lining, and then tomorrow we'll just attach them together. I wanted to do the burrito roll method on its own because I know sometimes it can be tricky to kind of wrap your head around, and I didn't want to add it in with a bunch of other stuff. I want to just have it kind of on its own. And once the burrito roll's done, the bra's done. So other than adding the band. So I kind of thought, let's just do a 4-day one, because we could do the main and then do the lining and then do the burrito roll, put them together. But I was like, let's just do a 4-day. It's a quick sew, really. The bralette is not that crazy, so I think stretching it out into 5 days would be a little much. But so what you do need, though, is you need your main fabric and you need a lining fabric. So I had some leftover scrap pieces from my leggings, my Tristan leggings earlier, and I decided to use those for my lining since you won't really see it, but it's still super comfy. And then I'm doing something a little different. I've got some more Luxe double brush poly, but I'm going to actually layer it with some lace to kind of give it a little bit of a I don't know, fun feel to it. So if you're wondering why I've got 3 fabrics, it's just because I'm doing something a little bit different, and I thought, why not? You can cut this out with gallon lace, and if you do that, just make sure you watch the fabric cutting video, as well as I mention how you need to make I believe it's the side cups 2 inches wider. That's all. But I'm really hoping this goes well, because my head is in the clouds, stuffed with cotton, and all day I feel like I've just been making a ton of mistakes. So hopefully today this goes a little bit better. Whew. But all right, let's get right into it. The first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to add this camera in really quick so that we can see. Here we go. So you can see my workspace as well. All right. So, whoops. Here we go. This is what I need. Open, please. Thank you. All right. So the first thing we need to do is we need to lay out our side cup pieces and our front bra pieces. So I'm actually going to take the band piece and put that away because we won't need it today. I will need these though. So put the band away. Okay, and the back we'll need later. So we need the side cut pieces, and remember, this isn't my lining. This is just my front pieces, because here we go. I'm layering my front pieces with this lace, since it's a little different. So just remember that when you're watching it, that it's not quite what you think. And I am doing the peekaboo, just here. So what we need to do is we need to lay these pieces so they're next to each other like they would be if we were sewing them or if we were wearing it. So like this. This way I can feel sexy but still have a little bit more coverage. Just a preference thing. Okay, and we need to now take our side cups and line them up with the side so that the curve is going the same way. It fits into the curve of the front piece. So, this. Perfect. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to take the outer bodice, so our side bodice piece, and we're going to flip it so that it's right sides together with the front bodice piece. And we're going to line up these top corners. and then line up the bottom corners. And we just need to make sure that the curves fit into each other. So just kind of pin it up along. I'm actually going to use pins because I have so many fabrics right now. With that lace in there, I've got 4 layers. All right, so we're just going to kind of match it up so that the raw edges of the curve are all lined up together. And then what we're going to do is just sew along the curve here at a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Making sure we follow the curve around and that we don't stretch or anything. If you're using a regular sewing machine, make sure that you use a stretch stitch. So a lightning stitch or a zigzag stitch or a triple stretch stitch is going to be your best. I prefer to use the lightning stitch when I'm using my machine. The lightning stitch to me is kind of the best of all worlds because you've got the stretch in there, but you also have kind of the zigzag. So the triple stretch stitch, it pokes 3 holes in it, whereas the lightning stretch, you still get the nice stretch to it. Okay, so now we should have a side that looks like this. Okay, you can see our curve here. And we need to do the same thing to the other side. So we're going to take our bra pieces, our front, center, and our side, and match the top corner. I'll just use these pins, clips. And then I like to match the bottom corner. And you can do the opposite too, it doesn't really. And then we just need to ease our curve around to match the curve of the front. So it's going to kind of stand up a little bit. It's not going to lay flat because it's a curve, and the curve on the outside is bigger than the curve on the inside. So it'll concave in, I guess is what I'm saying. But it'll all fit together. You just want to make sure that you follow the curve correctly. So 3/8 inch seam allowance. And again, just as a reminder, I am doing my lace. I'm not doing gallon lace. I'm kind of doing a lined lace, if you will. It's a stretch lace that I'm lining with a double brush poly. So I'm kind of layering it, and then I'll line it with another Luxe double brush poly. But just so that you're not like, hang on. So if you're doing a gallon lace or just regular lace, you won't have this extra fabric back here. You'll just have your lace piece. But I wanted a little bit extra coverage, but still have that look. So, okay. Now what we need to do is you can top stitch this if you want. I don't, just because I like the movement of it not being constricted. Really up to you what you prefer. So now what we're going to do is we're going to lay our pieces right side together, our top pieces right side together, and we're going to sew this center seam. So it's not a big seam, especially if you're doing the peekaboo. It's just this little bit right here that we're going to sew. So I don't know if you can see. Move it a little bit closer here. So we're going to match up the corner here. So this is the corner of the peekaboo. If you're doing the full version, your corner will be down a little bit more. So yours will be up a little. You'll have a little bit bigger seam, but since I'm doing the peekaboo, it just goes from here, and then you can see where it starts to kind of curve in. We're going to go there to there. So not much, but like I said, if you're doing the, you're not doing the peekaboo, you're going to have a pretty good couple, like what, 1, 2, 3.5 inches or so, unless you're doing the deep plunge, and then it's not quite so much either. But okay, so we're just going to sew right along that little edge there to attach those two front pieces together. 3/8 seam allowance. All right, so now we should have a front that looks like this. Don't mind my extra lace, but so we've got our little peekaboo here. It's attached here in the center. Our side cups are attached there. So we have a full piece now, a full frontal piece, a full front piece. We have a full front piece, and we're going to set that aside, and we're going to bring our back pieces over. Okay, and I just need to layer my back. So again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I really want to make sure you understand that I am layering my stretch lace. I'm not doing the gallon lace. So that's why I have double fabric here. If you're just doing a typical, or if you're just doing the gallon lace, or you'll just have one fabric. So just trying to make sure I have this right sides up. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put the back pieces right sides together. And you'll see there's a little seam here. We're going to sew 3/8 inches up that. Just going to check one thing really quick. Okay. Sorry, for a second I had like a concern that I had sewn, or I had cut the front deep plunge, and I was like, oops. But so I just wanted to make sure that I did indeed cut the back. So just along that seam there, we're going to do 3/8 inch seam allowance, so that our back is attached. All right, and now we're just going to attach it to our front at the shoulders. So we're going to open our back up. Make sure my lace is properly. And then So we're going to lay the front right sides together with the back, line up these shoulder seams and 3/8" seam allowance. We're just going to sew along those shoulder seams. All right, and then same thing for the other side here. All right, so now we have constructed the main portion of our bra. So we'll have something that looks similar to this. You can see the peekaboo here, and then the back is all together, connected at the shoulders. So now we just need to do the same thing to our lining, and then we're all finished for today. So we're going to just take the front pieces, just like we did the other way. We're going to line them up so that they are okay. And then we're going to put our side cups, line those up so that we know they're the right way. All right, and then on top, match up those top and bottom corners and just ease the curve around. Three-eighths seam allowance. We're going to attach this side. Just making sure those raw edges are right next to each other, lined up. There we go. And then the same thing with the other side. Okay, and those corners up. And just ease the fabric around the curve, making sure that our raw edges are lined up. And remember, it's not going to sit flat because it's a curve. 3/8" seam allowance. All right, now we're going to open them up, lay them right sides together. We're just going to sew along the center seam here. Again, mine's smaller because of the peekaboo cutout. 3/8" seam allowance. Okay, so now our lining should look like this. Like I said, it's a scrap piece. That's why you can see the selvage edge here. I wasn't too worried about it because it's the lining. But all right, so now we're going to put our back pieces right sides together. And then we're just going to sew along this bottom edge. So here's the back V. We're just going to sew along this bottom edge right here. Three-eighths seam allowance. Okay, and now we're just going to attach them at the shoulders just like we did the front and the main pieces. So right sides together, lay the front on top of the back, lining up these shoulder seams here, the raw edges of the shoulders. Just sew that 3-inch seam allowance. If you wanted a little bit more support, you can always add elastic into the shoulders there. I didn't really need any with my other one, so I think I'm okay not doing it, but that is something you can always do. You can always add elastic into the shoulders if you need just a little bit more. It helps pull things up. You can add it into the side seams as well. All right, and there we have it. So now we've got our lining all put together, and we've got our front or our main all put together. And then tomorrow we will attach the lining and the main together and add the waistband, and we will be finished. So super quick, super easy today. If you're doing the Tristan leggings, this is a great one to kind of just add on with it. It makes a really awesome set. I love these together. But yeah, that's all for today. Tomorrow we'll be attaching them together and putting the band on, and then we'll be finished. So I will see you then. Bye.